Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. We're tackling a topic I know a lot of you have been struggling with, so let's jump right in.
Yeah,
Building trust after relationship trauma.
absolutely. It's something that can feel so incredibly daunting.
Right. And to help us unpack this, we're diving deep into an excerpt from a powerful book called The Absurdity and Cost of Extremes.
Yeah, this excerpt is full of insights.
It really is. Okay, so let's get into it. For anyone just joining us, this deep dive is all about taking a concept and really exploring it, getting those actionable insights, and figuring out how to actually apply this knowledge to our lives.
Exactly. And one of the things that struck me right away in this excerpt was how it talks about this idea of a protective shield that forms in our brain after we experience trauma, particularly in relationships.
Okay, that's fascinating. So, literally a shield. What does that actually mean?
Well, think about it like this. When we experience trauma, our brain, especially the amygdala, which is our fear center, goes into overdrive. It's like it's trying to protect us from getting hurt again.
Right, by building this shield.
Right. And this shield, well, it can make us see danger everywhere, even in situations that are perfectly safe.
So it makes it hard to be vulnerable and trust again, even when we want to.
Exactly. It's almost like our brains are stuck in this constant state of fight or flight. Even when there's no real threat, it's like we're always on edge, waiting for the other shoe to drop.
And as if that wasn't hard enough, the excerpt also talks about how we can end up, sabotaging ourselves by sticking to predictable patterns, even when those patterns are negative.
Oh, this is so important. It's that feeling of, well, I'd rather be right than wrong, even if right means feeling miserable.
Mm.
We find this weird kind of comfort in those negative patterns because at least they're familiar.
Oh my gosh, yes. I've totally been there. Like, even when things are going well, there's this part of me that's just waiting for it to all fall apart.
It's so common. But the good news is there are ways to start breaking free from these patterns.
Okay, good, because I was just going to ask, what can we actually do about this?
The excerpt talks about this concept called self-talk repairness, which essentially means instead of just being aware of those negative thoughts, we actively challenge them and start reframing how we view ourselves in relationships.
So it's like instead of thinking, I'll always be betrayed, it's more like, okay, I've been hurt in the past, but I'm learning from those experiences, and I'm choosing partners more wisely now.
Exactly. It's not about denying those past hurts. It's about acknowledging them, but also choosing to believe that things can be different.
I love that. Choosing to believe that things can be different. That's so powerful.
It is. And it's not going to happen overnight. It's a process.
Right, because this sounds like a lot of work.
It can be, yeah. But the excerpt really emphasizes patience and self-compassion. It's about celebrating those small victories along the way.
So, like, even making a small change in our self-talk, that's a win.
Exactly. And remembering that setbacks are normal. Healing isn't linear.
That's such a good point. Thinking about all this, it reminds me of a question that the excerpt asks. It says, what happened in your last relationship where you had to let your guard down?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I think reflecting on those moments is so important because it helps us see how we've grown from those experiences.
Right. We're not the same person we were back then. We've learned, we've evolved, we're stronger.
Exactly. There might be some similarities between your past and what you're facing now, but remember, this is different. You are different. You have those past experiences to learn from, and they can help you navigate trust in a new way.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, it sounds like building trust after trauma is really this ongoing process, right? It's about being self-aware, challenging those old patterns, and celebrating every little step we take forward.
That's exactly it. And on that note, here's a thought for all of you to consider as you move forward. How can you be just a little bit different today in a way that moves you towards greater trust and connection? Maybe it's a tweak to your self-talk, or a conscious effort to be vulnerable with someone you feel safe with, or even just acknowledging your own resilience.
I love that. That's such a great question to leave us with. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. As always, remember you're not alone on this journey. Keep exploring, keep growing, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time.